the hybrids alive, merging in shines, watch them fly. Radio commands, fast as a flash. Zigzags, backflips, ready to clash. Two worlds collide, feel the roar. Hands on the low, leave from wanting more. Unleashing power was set to ignite. In this dilemma, we claim the night. With fury and force, we will back down. The crowd is here, taking the crowd.
All right, boys and girls, we have the Kralion with us, and there's not much a whole lot different with it. I did change the rear diff, and I am running it on 6S backflips now instead of the Pro lines that I had on it before. So we're gonna do a little quick speed run just to see where it's at in terms of speed. I think the larger diameter tires should give it a little bit more top end speed, but I think that's about it. Yeah, I don't think I've changed much else since, but for those who don't know, I call it a Kralion because this is basically a Kraton that has Talion shock towers on it, and that's basically it. So lowers the ride height, all that good stuff. So let's get to it. Ooh, that was close, bro. Let's go, baby. Stop. Riyadh. 68, bro. That's plenty. At 68 miles an hour, dude, we should be hitting that ramp pretty good. So I'm happy with that. Oh, I lost. I think it turned itself off. Yeah, I think it did. Yeah. Trying to make it like right over. Oh. Oh. Uh-oh. Something happened. I lost everything. It got stuck to the left or right. Whoa. Let me see if I can turn it off, turn it back on, and it'll make a difference. Like it literally got stuck that way and I lost all control of throttle. Nope, I bet the receiver. All right, guys, we made it out. Of course, as you know, we have the new ramp. We've got our Kralion, and I also, don't know if you can see it right inside there, have double side taped my GNSS performance analyzer to the chassis like I did with the Kraton. I'm hoping to get some height data on this, or yeah, some height data. So I don't know, let's get to it, man. We've got our flags at 100, 125, 175, or 100, 125, 150, 175, 200. I don't think this is gonna fly as far as the Kraton does, because it doesn't have the same pinion on it. I think it's only like a 22, but that's all right, man. They don't all have to do 200 feet, you know? Nice. So he did 150 right off the rip, dude. Nice. So it likes that 150 flag right there. I'm sure if I put a 25 tooth pinion in it, it'll get faster and do 175. Woo! There we go. Made it past the 150 that time. But also, this has the old school Hobbywing 4990 1650 kV motor. It does not have the new G2 one. So that's kind of another reason why I wasn't sure where to go with it. Even with the 22 tooth pinion, it cogs just a tiny bit off of a standstill. So it's not quite as powerful either. Let's bring it back. Nice. Ooh, I almost shaved the ramp. Oh, oh, oh my God. That nose dove so hard. Wow, dude. It was like I barely touched the brake and it just, alrighty then. Well, now I know I got to take it real easy on the brake inputs. Wow, that's what got ruined. So at least I know nothing broke. The 3-wheel flip. Yeah, there's no nut. Now let me see if the wheel is, yeah, that's what it is. See, the wheel hex is, that's why that loosened up. Let's stop, read to see if this thing worked. 52 feet high and 62 miles an hour. So the fastest we hit the ramp was a 62 and the highest we went was 52 feet, which isn't too bad considering this ramp doesn't give you as much of a pop, and the highest I've gone before is 63. So we're only about 10 feet lower than we normally would be, and this thing isn't even going as far as the Kraton. So wouldn't be surprised if we're not far off from where we already were at before. Nice. Oh, fuck. Just nosedive it. Lawn dart it like every time. Bro, look at the freaking hole it left. I can't believe it didn't break. I don't know why I do that with this car. Something about the way the brakes are more sensitive. I also, well, that was weird. It had nothing and then it had everything. Nice. Ah, oh, dang it. Nice. Nice. And we lost it again. Really strange. Look, no throttle. And then it brings it back. Huh. Well, I got a new motor on the way for this thing. So what did that land? Like third flag, right? So 120, 125, 150. Yeah, so it's going about 150. 150 is not bad. It's got an old school 1650 kV motor in it. Oof. To put in this thing. Oof. Woo. Yes, there we go. Yeah, battery's getting low, I can tell. Did it again. You know what it is? Is that I'm trying to turn, or I'm trying to go full throttle, and when I go full throttle, the car pulls to one direction on its own. one side. Something. Wow. The tire blew and then it landed in the tree, dude. So maybe I did have a tire that was blowing out. Yeah. Look. Oh, I want to finish the battery, so let me see if I can put a tire on it real quick. Yeah, that's way better. Way better. Nice. Oh, something. What happened here? Oh, the arm finally broke after that nosedive. Look at that. Wow. Ah, I don't know if you can see it on camera. Look, it's hanging on by a thread, bro. Oh, and I nosed, lawn darted it again. Idiot. I got greedy. I wanted to. Yep, now we lost drive. So either the outdrive broke or, yeah, something happened here. The outdrive didn't break. No, the outdrive didn't break, but we lost. It came out of the diff cup, the diff outdrive. GPM outdrives, bro. I'm trying to tell y'all. It literally busted out of the outdrive, but did not break it. GPM outdrive, bro. If that would have been anybody else, bro, that would have been a broken outdrive. Easy. All right, and we are back with the Kralion. So, first things first, I think damage report would be damage some of my body posts. And then I just noticed actually the other day that I've damaged this center diff to front adapter brace here. It looks like it's ripped it out of the threads here. So that's the thing. I don't think that happened off the ramp, which is what when that used to happen. I think that probably happened on one of the bad landings. Somewhere when I landed like rear end first, or when I nose dove it, it probably flexed the whole chassis inward and then pulled it out. So, you know, I'm not gonna blame that on anything else other than just, you know, bad driving. And then one other detail about this rig is that it's got the 4985 old school 1650 kV hobby wing motor. I do have the newer one, the G2 one, and there's definitely a difference, man. With the gearing it has now, it's like 2250, I believe. It cogged just a tiny little bit with that gearing, whereas with the Kraton, I have a 25 tooth pinion and I can do standing back tucks. So that just goes to show you the difference in the power of the motor itself. So once I put this back on here, we'll obviously run it again, hopefully with a 25 tooth pinion, and we'll just, you know, match the Kraton, do some 185 foot sends, you know what I mean? So, but as far as the car itself, this is actually, the reason why I call it a Kralion is because a long time ago, this used to be my V5 EXB Kraton that was fully built. I believe it still has the ARRMA diff housing, or bulkheads, yeah. So it still has the ARRMA bulkheads on here, front and rear. It has M2C input cups on front and rear. It has the RC all-wheel drive LSD EXB diffs with the GPM outdrives, which I've talked about many times. At the end of the video, I think it shows that this popped out. I think that was, yeah, because the arm's broken, which is still broken. But these GPM outdrives, man, I keep saying it, but the GPM outdrives are just so strong, dude. You know, I'm not a metallurgist. I can't sit here and tell you, you know, what the chemical makeup or compound of the metal they use or whatever. I just, you know, this is the theme with my channel. Like, I am not do RC. I'm not gonna get into the science of things. I just try things, and I feel like what my style of bashing really puts these parts to the test. And I try things, and if they work, I'll know, because they just won't break or won't break as often. And the GPM outdrives, they just don't break. I haven't had one split in half on me, like, ever. And you know, I have stock ones. I have some here. You can see where the M2C ones here, they start to gull right at the corners, and then that creates a weak point. And then if on a bad landing or when you're on throttle in a flip or something, it'll just, that whole section will just break off. Again, this is not me shitting on M2C. I'm just calling it how I see it, man. Like I said in the last video, M2C has staples. They have parts that are the best in the business, and that I would not put on my RCs. But the GPM OUTDRIVES have proven to be way stronger than any other OUTDRIVE I've ever tried. So that's my conclusion on OUTDRIVES. It has these little Integy shock cap covers, which I'm not sure you can see, but they're super nice. I really like the way they set the car off, you know, as far as it looks. The problem is, as soon as you land upside down on one of these things and scratch it up, it's just ugly. And that kind of sucks, but you know, it's not the worst thing ever. It does look nice, but if you're not bashing like I am, then maybe you would consider those for the sake of having something really nice on there, you know, a little touch. The rear wing mount is a stock Talion wing mount. This is another subject matter. I'm gonna make another video separate on that, but these guys with these 3D printed wing mounts, I've got a gripe with that I'm gonna address at some point in the near future. And the material they're using does not allow you to put true torque on the rear two bulkhead to chassis bolts that go through the wing mount, and it creates a weak point, and I haven't talked about it yet, but I will. But anyway, I like to use stock ARRMA wing mounts, man. You know, I don't have issues with my wing mounts breaking off every other bash. You know, some of them, you know, the Kagama has that issue, although with the limited edition one, they fixed that. But most of the ARRMA wing mounts, it has more to do with how well you drive the car than it does the wing mount durability. You know, the plastic they use is more ideal. So really it boils down to just learn how to drive better. It's, you know, it sucks to say it, but I mean, I was once one of those people that was breaking wing mounts like every bash. Now I hardly ever break wing mounts because I just don't land on the back of the car like that. So stock Talion wing mount, these are Scorched RC braces. And then this car is kind of a mutt in a way because basically I have stock EXB tower to chassis braces. I have M2C top plate, M2C ESC plate, Perfect Pass servo, Hot Racing's horn and link, Vidovon belt crank system, but then I have Scorched RC braces for the tower to center, and then I have the M2C center diff mount, and then custom RC upgrades, A, B, C, and D blocks, and then like I said with the RC all-wheel drive diffs, and then it's got Kraton EXB version 2 shocks front and rear. So the shocks on this car are basically the same shocks that you would get on a Kraton EXB. I didn't change the shocks, I just changed the towers. That's all I did. It just leans out the shock, but I haven't had any issues with the shocks, braking, bending, binding, any of that. So it's been pretty solid so far. But yeah, and then it's got the 4985 Hobby Wing motor. It's geared 2250. It does have the Hobby Wing Max 6 G2 ESC, just not the motor, which, like I said, is here, and we'll be putting that in next. Battery strap wise, I wanted to kind of touch on that. These are the Team Kralion ones, but Garage Life RC and Hyperflow fans both sell really good battery straps that are like these, or like the Kevlar, you know, material. I'd recommend those. So yeah, battery straps from either Garage Life RC or Hyperflow fans. The rear dog bones on this are actually stock rear dog bones. This is another part that I would say is definitely worth upgrading, but if you can just land the car right most of the times. I mean, I had some bad landings on this bash, and I didn't bend any dog bones or bend any CVDs, and the front CVDs are upgraded from M2C. Actually, this one is GPM, this one's M2C. These are stock. Like I said, this car is a little bit of a mutt. It has just parts from everywhere on it. Because I'm trying, sometimes these cars end up with different parts because I'm just testing things. I'm just trying things out, you know? So for example, the rear dog bones being stock. I was thinking, well, do I really need to upgrade them, or will the stock ones work so long as I don't just have 50 million bad landings? And sure enough, man, the rear dog bones stock ones are working just fine. And then the front, with having a GPM one on one side and M2C on the other, is because I had an M2C on there and then I broke one of the M2Cs on this side, so I wanted to try the GPM one while I have it out. And so far so good. But that arm broke, so now I have to fix that and keep on running it and see how long that GPM part holds up. So, but I think that's pretty much it. Fluids are 20 million, 500,000, and 1 million, I believe, on this one. Yeah, 1 million, 20 million, and 500,000. Stock EXB version 5 or V5 Kraton EXB version 2. So the bulkheads, that's what they're from. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Bash was a ton of fun. The skate park, the receiver died. I did put a receiver, and actually the video is kind of out of order. So when you see the receiver die, that's actually the last thing I did with the car. So there's a part in the video where the car kind of just stops doing everything and then comes back. That was the receiver on its way out. So the receiver was on his way out, and when you guys see the skate park, that was basically the last time this thing ran. So it's a little out of order in the video, but essentially the receiver went bad. I have already replaced the receiver, so it's good to go in that avenue. But yeah, that's the only other failure that I had that I can explain as to what happened. So, but yeah, she will be getting a new motor, taller gearing. I'm gonna fix this brace, and then we're gonna put it back together at some point and send it again, probably go to the skate park more now that I've kind of have a newfound love for the skate park bashing and feel like I kind of have a better idea what I'm doing. So, but yeah, stay tuned. We'll get this thing back out. I think after this will be the Kagama limited edition. I brought it back out, made a couple little tiny changes, had a couple failures, blah blah, whatever. You'll find out when when I release the video. But it was definitely so much fun. The Kagama and the Kraton to me are they're just, man, they are a ton of fun, dude. They do so many things well. So anyway, stay tuned for that, guys. Thanks for those who subscribe. Thanks for those who watch. I appreciate it. We're gonna just keep on bringing it to you. So, all right, stay tuned. Keep on bashing, guys.